On the highest shelf of Mr. Maple's toy shop, tucked between a stack of forgotten board games and a dusty jack-in-the-box, sat a teddy bear with soft brown fur and a single button eye. His name was Benjamin. Or at least that's what he remembered from long ago, back when he had two shiny eyes, and sat proudly in the front window, waiting for someone to love him. But now, Benjamin had one eye missing and a slight tear on his left paw. His fur had thinned in patches from too much hugging in years past. The newer toys below him were bright, flashy and loud. Some danced when you clapped, others lit up like fireworks. Benjamin couldn't do any of that. He just sat quietly and watched the world from the shelf. Every morning, Mr. Maple opened the shop with a jingle of bells. Children rushed in with wide eyes and sticky fingers, racing past the aisles. They laughed and pointed at the robots, cradled the dolls, and hugged the stuffed animals. But they never looked up high enough to see Benjamin. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Benjamin began to believe that no one would ever pick him again. The toys whispered among themselves at night, wondering if Benjamin was even a real toy anymore. "Who'd want a bear with one eye?" muttered a shiny new train one evening. Benjamin didn't answer. He just turned slightly to the window and stared at the moon, quietly wishing, just once more, to be held. Then, one rainy afternoon, everything changed. The bell above the shop door jingled softly, but no little feet came running in. Instead, a woman stepped inside, holding the hand of a small boy with dark glasses and a white cane. He was quiet, not excited like the others. He listened instead of looking. Mr. Maple smiled and said kindly, "Take your time. Let me know if he needs help choosing." The boy wandered slowly through the store, tapping the edge of his cane as he moved. His fingers brushed against toys on the lower shelves, soft plush animals, wooden puzzles, bouncy balls. But none made him stop. Then, as if guided by something more than sight, he stood beneath the high shelf and tilted his head up. "There's one more," he whispered to his mother. "Up there, something soft, something quiet." Mr. Maple followed his gaze in surprise. "That one, he's been here a long time. Lost an eye and a bit of stuffing, I'm afraid." The boy smiled gently. "May I meet him?" With a chuckle, Mr. Maple fetched a small wooden ladder and carefully brought Benjamin down from his perch. The bear felt nervous and shy, unsure of what was happening. The boy held out his hands and took Benjamin gently, feeling his shape, his soft fur, and his missing eye. "You're perfect," the boy said, hugging him close. "You see with your heart. Just like me." Benjamin froze. No one had ever said that before. No one had ever held him like that, not since the old days. In that single moment, something stitched back together inside him that had long been torn. "What's your name?" the boy asked. "Benjamin," whispered the bear, though the sound didn't come from his mouth, it came from the warmth between them. "Hi, Benjamin, I'm Leo." And from that moment on, the two were never apart. Leo took Benjamin everywhere. To the park, where they sat on the bench and listened to the wind whistle through the trees. To the library, where Benjamin read through Leo's fingers as they traced over Braille books. And at bedtime, Leo always tucked Benjamin beneath the covers, whispering secrets into his plush ear. Benjamin had never felt so alive. He didn't mind his missing eye anymore. In fact, he began to think it was special. He didn't need two eyes to see the joy in Leo's laugh or feel the love in his embrace. He saw through the things that truly mattered: kindness, comfort, and connection. Other kids sometimes stared at Leo with curiosity. Some even asked, "Why do you always carry that old bear?" But Leo would smile proudly and say, "He's not just a bear. He's my best friend, and he's been through a lot, just like me." One snowy day at school, the teacher asked the class to bring their favorite toy for show and tell. Some children brought robots that transformed, dolls that talked, and puzzles with glowing lights. Leo brought Benjamin. When it was his turn, Leo stood up quietly and held Benjamin high. "This is Benjamin," he said softly. He's a bear with one eye. Some people might think he's broken, but he's not. He's brave. He listens to me when I'm sad. He never laughs when I get lost. And he always reminds me that you don't need perfect eyes to see someone's heart. The room fell silent. Then, slowly, hands began to clap. The teacher wiped away a tear and said, "Thank you, Leo. That was beautiful." Later that night, back at home, Leo whispered to Benjamin under the covers, "You showed them today. You showed them that being different is okay." Benjamin snuggled close, his one eye glinting in the soft lamplight. He wasn't just a forgotten toy anymore. He was a symbol of courage, of friendship, and of seeing the world not as it looks, but as it feels. And so the bear with one eye became the heart of a little boy's world. Not because he was new, not because he was shiny, but because he understood, because he listened, because he stayed. And in that quiet love, both of them found everything they'd been missing.